Hello, my friends. Happy Sunday. And we are getting ready for our next week. So let's see how we can manage our anxiety this week. I will have to tell you that my mother's 70th birthday party was yesterday, and I am exhausted. I just want to go right back to sleep. We were up until like 2:30 in the morning, and then with all my anxiety, I couldn't fall asleep. I actually have to listen to this really awesome YouTube station. It's called Get Sleepy, and I have my little eye mask with my headphones in it, and I'll tell you, that stuff puts me right out. They tell like the best little stories, and everybody who talks on Get Sleepy has like the most relaxing voice, and you just want to get knocked out. And I have to be honest with you, I have been using a lot of my patchouli today. Thank you, Eden's Garden. It's the best patchouli ever. So we'll just stick that right back up there. But let's get back into that card reading. So let me see what questions we're going to ask this week. This week, we're going to ask, what can I let go of to reduce my stress levels? I think we might have done that last week, but I kind of really like that one. So today, I'm going to be reading with the Quantum Oracle by Sandra Ann Taylor. I really like this one. It's pretty interesting. And I know I said I was going to do some deck reviews, and I am going to do those. I actually have all day off tomorrow, and I will be spending all day making some of those deck review videos. So let's see what the Quantum Oracle has to say today about what can we let go of to reduce our stress levels this week. And we get travel in reverse. So I think it's probably a good week to stay close to home. It'll be a good week to maybe skip going out to the diner, eat your dinner at home this week, put something nice in the crock pot. And I know it's not crock pot weather yet, but for me it's always crock pot weather because crock pots are quick and easy. Also know that if you are really in the need for a vacation, start saving your money. It might not happen right away, but it will happen eventually. I love this deck because it's not only read upright, but it's also read in reverse. So that's pretty cool. And I love the guidebooks on the Oracle cards. I just do. And this one is pretty well written. Good job, Sandra Ann Taylor. I do like that. So, like I said, don't be upset if travel plans have fallen through. Maybe just stick around home a little bit. And I'm going to pull one more card to see kind of what goes along with that. And it's called Fragmented Energy. I'm trying to fix it so you guys can actually see it. This card is talking all about, instead of scattering your energy in more than one project, pare it down, find out what's really important this week, and only work on that. Okay? You know, I feel like with the travel card in reverse and the fragmented energy together, it's really important to get some things done at home, but do a list and prioritize. You need a little balance here this week, okay? So we're going to let go of trying to get 50 things done at once, and we're going to just focus on doing one thing at a time and completing it. Now, I don't know if you are like me, but I'm a super multitasker, which I feel like it's really maybe not just a woman thing, but an anxiety thing, because we see it, we got to do it. We see it, we got to do it. This week, we're calling for letting go of that unbalanced energy, and we're calling for structure. One piece at a time. Small bites, and then you'll eat the whole cake. And I have to tell you, there's some cake home for my mother's birthday, and I can't wait to go home and eat it because my daughter Juliet does an excellent job baking that cake. And it is a cream cheese pound cake. Look up the recipe. It's delightful. Anyway, our next question this week is, what support or resources should I be looking for to help me with my anxiety this week? And I'm going to pull from one of my newer decks here, It is the Ancient Stones Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. She's got some beautiful decks. I might actually, maybe I'll make a video of this one. We can review that one tomorrow. But it's just beautiful. Even the back, I mean, that blue is my favorite color anyway, but it's just great. So let's ask, what support or resources can we look for this week to help with our anxiety? Great. And this is called the Entrance Stone. New beginnings, step forward, expansion. So this card talks all about new things coming into your life, allowing these new beginnings to happen and embracing them. But we have to remember that in order to embrace new stuff, we got to ditch some of the old crap that we don't need anymore, right? So back to the last question with that fragmented energy, I think that those play really nicely together because we're not going to scatter our energies about anymore. It's a new day, it's a new week, and we're going to write a list and check mark things one at a time. Ending things like that help new beginnings pull right in, because anything that weighs you down, anything that's you haven't completed, right? Anything that you're only have 50%ed at this point, it's not finished, that is just weighing everything down. So in order to move forward and let these new things begin, we're going to let the old slip away. But I feel like this week is all about completing projects that maybe you haven't finished yet. I know I've got a couple I've got to do. And I think that a really important part of that is deciding which projects are still worth completing for you, right? So I know I have a lot of sewing projects and crochet projects and all kinds of stuff like that, that I felt so guilty that I didn't get done. And I ended up giving this stuff away, you know, the brand new stuff. Somebody else can work on it. You know, maybe they've got time to do it, and I think that's wonderful. So deciding what is really worthy of you this week, right? Because this new energy, there's a new door opening, and I think that being a support is really awesome. So we're going to let that kind of sink in a little bit. You know, ending projects, allowing yourself to expand into new directions and new energies, and knowing that even though there's that little voice inside that maybe says you can't do it, you absolutely can do it. Remember that those thoughts are just like little bubbles. I always say that we have multiple personalities, right? So whenever we start something new or we do something scary, and that voice inside starts to say, you know, you can't do that, that's scary, or, you know, you can get hurt doing that, or whatever, you know, ask yourself, like, who inside me is saying that? Who is that voice? And chat with that voice, because that voice is always trying to keep you safe, but being safe all the time in that manner is not always helpful. So you can always just think it and, you know, do it anyway. Think the thoughts and do it anyway, as long as it's actually not life, you know, it can't kill you for real. Okay, I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. So now we're going to move on to this next question, and I'm going to use my Cat Tarot deck. And this was actually a gift from one of my friends, Stacy. So if you ever see this video, thank you, Stacy. I'm enjoying it very much. And so this week we're going to ask, what lesson can I learn from my anxiety that can help me become stronger? Let's see what we pull here. Ah, the Chariot. Oh my God, this is a perfect card. So for me, the Chariot is all mind, body, spirit, and keeping all of those three things together in order to live a balanced life, right? This is a card about courage and being able to move forward and go forward. So going back and looking at all those, you know, terrible times that you feel like you might have had, and everything that you actually survived will give you the courage to move forward. You know, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger is basically what this is saying right now. You know, so I was always grateful that when I had my nervous breakdown, I actually journaled a lot of that. So now, when I'm in a much better space, I can actually go back and look and see how far I've come. And I think that that's really important for your healing and even on a daily basis to remind you, like, how badass are you, right? Like, you've gotten through some really tough times. And I think that when people don't have anxiety and they don't realize that every day can be a super struggle just to get through the day, especially when you're not taking medication like I am and we have to manage those emotions, that looking back and just saying, like, you know what, I do have the stamina to do this, I do have the strength to do this, and you have the strength to do this all by yourself, right? So the Chariot, he's all alone on that chariot with the two horses, and he is driving his own carriage. He knows where he's going, he knows what he wants, and he's keeping everything together. So the lesson that you can learn from your anxiety is that the more you keep mind, body, and spirit together and working on managing your emotions, learning breathing techniques, which I'm probably going to do a video about that, even though I know it doesn't always go with tarot, but it is so life-saving. It's just amazing for me. And anytime that I start to have really big anxiety, I do the divine breath and everything just chills out. I give myself like 30 seconds to a minute, and it's amazing what you can accomplish with that breath. It just triggers that relaxation response, and those thoughts can stop freaking out, because a lot of times those thoughts are caused by adrenaline. A lot of times those thoughts are just caused by adrenaline in the system, and adrenaline will make you have like that craziness that you feel in your head, like, oh my God, I'm going crazy. So we also get the Queen of Swords in reverse. And I like to think the Queen of Swords is somebody who's super honest with themselves, right? But almost maybe to the point of being a little too cutting, right? So the lesson you can learn from the Queen of Swords in reverse is to do a deep dive and see where you can shed some light on the actual truthfulness that the Queen of Swords in reverse will show you where you're going to do an honest assessment of yourself, where even though you might think negatively, like, I can't handle anything, I just can't do this, that, you know, these two cards combined, that's just not true, right? So what lesson can you learn? Be honest with yourself. I'm looking at this reverse card today as doing a deep dive, right? And paired with the Chariot of being able to really overcome, let's take a real deep look at yourself and see what a survivor you are, how good you're doing. You know, you're still here, you're kicking ass, you get up every day, you're doing your job, and that's what you got to do. You go to work, you raise your family, you have relationships with other people. You know, anxiety might be on your shoulder every single day, but you still can live your life. You can still leave your house. You know, there's steps that you can take to get there. So let's look at all the good you've done with this anxiety. I also feel like with anxiety, that, you know, turn around and see you're not the only one, right? We're not alone. So how can you help somebody else and be that mentor for somebody else, you know, with the Queen of Swords? Where can you be honest about your story with other people so that they know that they're not alone, and they can have the feeling of community and, you know, being with somebody who understands them, right? The Chariot, be the leader of the honesty, how you feel on a daily basis. You know, where I'm not really into like victimhood, where we tell our sob story every day, and I know there's going to be a lot of people that are mad at me for saying that, and it's totally fine. I don't, whatever. Telling an empowering story of how you've overcome, now that's where it's at, right? So really take a peek, and look around and just know that it's not just you. Where can you help somebody else, right? Where can you be honest with yourself and kind of maybe give yourself a pat on the back? So I want to do one more card this week for just like an overall general theme. And let's just pull one more card. I'm just getting the feeling that that's a good idea. And we get the Death card in reverse. Not scary. Death card doesn't mean death. It means renewal, right? So the Death card in reverse is allow those changes to happen. It's funny because we get that one with the entrance stone where it's new beginnings. We're going to allow those new beginnings to just work on their own. Let them come in the door. Thy will be done through me. Let the changes happen organically. Let the old stuff out that you don't need anymore, which goes right along with that fragmented energy. We're going to let go of that. You're going to be more focused this week. You're going to start looking around and seeing who could use a little bit of your advice, because even though you might not think it, you've learned some lessons on this journey so far. Lessons that could help other people. Everybody has something good to say. Everybody has something good to say. Everybody has something that somebody else needs to hear. So see where that plays in with you this week. So I'm just going to say thank you for that. I will try to remember to do a video on the divine breath. It's wonderful. That's what I call it. I'm sure other people, everybody has like these rules about what everything's called, but it works for me. I'll try to do a video for you on that one, and I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you found it helpful, just like and subscribe. I would be so appreciative, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.